Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for being here on this most glorious festival which lasts for a month. We are all here to celebrate the month of Kārtik with a sincere desire that Srimati Radharani, as we discussed yesterday, who is the most worshipable Lord, of course along with Damodar also. May the Supreme Lord be pleased with our intention, with our desire. We may or may not be qualified, as we said last class, but it's a simple, humble attempt to glorify the Lord through the speech, through the ears, through the actions, and through the Vaishnavas present. Yesterday we primarily discussed about the glories of the month of Kārtik. We started our discussion with the glories of Harikatha, and we quoted Rukmini, and we explained as to how Rukmini gives 3 qualities of Harikatha. How many remember the 3 qualities? What was the first one?
Pure.
Yes.
It was pure.
Pure, okay. Second?
Sweet.
Sweet. Sweet, everyone remembers. Sweet. Third?
Love and reciprocation.
Lokamalabha. Cleans heart, yes. The Supreme Lord, as Hari Katha, enters the heart, and there's the cleaning work, Chetotarapanam Arjuna, and he steals the heart away. And we spoke about how Krishna is the expert in stealing. He has a long list of track record in stealing. And we also spoke about how this month goes by 3 different names. What were the 3 different names? First, Damodar Mas, because it is the month of Damodar. It's almost like in the school we would have fill in the blanks. Second, Kārtik Mas, because it is the month of Lakshmi. Radharani, not the month of Lakshmi, it's the month of Radharani. Oftentimes we are so much in the flow. प्रभु जी आप बोलो, जो आप बोलो, हम आपके साथ हैं, आप सुनाओ प्रभु जी. So it is the month of Srimati Radharani. And third, Urja means energy. And who provides strength? So her name is Urjeshwari Srimati Radharani ki Jai. So those were the 3 names that we saw. We also saw as to how the Lord is very kind, very reciprocative, and we mentioned this point that we are not doing this vrat or this austerity not just for namesake. It is not just for the matter of doing it, but it is Drishtva Parishramam Krishna Kripaya Asitsva Bandhane. It is the desire is, my dear Lord, with this, just like Mother Yashoda bound you, may I also bind you in my heart. And we mentioned as to how the Lord is so kind, so reciprocative, that He, as Shalikram Shila, is ready and sit inside a freezer. Yes, mango ice cream. I told you, Prasadam examples people don't forget. He's ready to sit. Pankajangri Prabhu said, he's ready to sit in a mango ice cream. It's always sometimes good to have probably ice cream in your freezer. You never know. The sequel to that pastime may be in your house. If part 1 happened in Mayapur, you never know. The Lord may do a part 2 in our house. So, with that we concluded, and finally we mentioned as to what are the do's, what are things that we can do, what are things that we can refrain from. And we mentioned a big list, not going through the list, but we gave a list of things that we can. From that we can either do all of them, or do some of them, or we can cherry pick. But based on our kshamata, based on our body, and based on our inclinations, and based on our intention, we can follow the different things that acharyas are given. Having said that, so yesterday was the glories of Kartik, and these are the things we discussed. But yesterday we also mentioned that this is the month of Srimati Radharani. And that is what we have given as a topic. It is the glorious, most divine month of Śrī Rādhā. So if it is the month of Śrī Rādhā, it is of paramount importance that we discuss about Śrī Rādhā. We discuss about Srimati Radharani. Srimati Radharani is such a personality about whom we discuss on the day of Radhashtami, but otherwise throughout the year seldom do we discuss. We discuss about Krishna, we discuss about Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, we discuss about Śrī Nityananda Prabhu, but about Srimati Radharani, oftentimes we do not discuss because it's a very lofty subject matter. At least speaking for myself, even the topic that we are going to attempt today and in the following days, I do not have any realization about it. So it's a disclaimer, I do not have any realization about Radha Tattva. But because this month glorifies Srimati Radharani, I thought to purify the tongue, purify the intellect, it will be worthwhile to glorify Srimati Radharani. The Acharya is very beautifully described. Srila Raghunath Das Goswami, he glorifies Radharani in his typical style. Srila Raghunath Das Goswami, as we said yesterday, for 45 years was sitting on the banks of Radhakund and crying and weeping for Srimati Radharani. And sitting on the banks of Radhakund and crying and weeping, Srila Das Goswami composes a beautiful verse that glorifies Srimati Radharani. Please kindly repeat. Bhajami Radham Aravinda Netram Smarami Radham Madhura Smitasya Vadami Radham Karuna Bharatram Tatho Mamanyasti Gate Nakapi. Raghunath Das Goswami says, this is another verse for verse memorization. If you are interested in memorizing verses, this is another verse that we can put an asterisk and we can memorize. The yesterday's verse that we discussed, Angashyam Alima Chata Biravito Mandi Kritendi Varam. It's almost like a transcendental rap music. So that verse that we discussed, I had sent it to Prabhuji. Was it shared? Yes. So we have that. I can share this verse also. So you can add it to your list. And I think by the time we end our series, we'll have many more verses that you can memorize and chant it. Not just for Kārtik, not just as a matter of doing it for this month, it can be chanted anytime. Because every time you walk into the temple, Radharani is there. So whichever month, whether it's January, February, March, or whether it's Kārtik, these verses can still be chanted. Srila Raghunath Das Goswami says, Bhajami Radham Aravinda Netram. I worship eternally that Radharani. What is her quality? Aravinda Netram. Her eyes are like Aravinda. Aravinda means lotus. Yes, lotus. Radharani's eyes are like lotus petals. You see lotus petals, they are broad at the center and they are like tapering towards the end. So Radharani's eyes are like that. They are broad at the center and they are tapering towards the end, almost so that they go and they kiss the ear of Srimati Radharani. Broad and tapering. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's eyes are also like that. Broad at the center and tapering. Why? Because Mahaprabhu is not different from Srimati Radharani. And Krishna's eyes are also like that. Broad in the center. Here we can see like it's broad and it tapers. So Rupa Goswami says this Aravinda Netra. They are like lotus petals. They go this way. Bhajami Radham. I worship that Srimati Radharani whose eyes are like lotus petals. Bhajami Radham Aravinda Netram Smarami Radham. I remember that Srimati Radharani Madhura Smitasya, whose smile is very sweet. Radharani has a very sweet smile. We have one smile. And that smile is also such, it is based on time, place, circumstance. If the time is right, the person is right, the situation is right, then the smile comes out. It has a lot of restrictions. But Srimati Radharani's smile is such, she has different kinds of smiles for different occasions, for different people in different circumstances. We have one smile. She has multiple smiles. Some may be a full smile, some may be a half smile. Some may be a smile where only a couple of teeth are visible. and so on and so forth. Rupa Goswami gives description of the smile of Srimati Radharani. You can imagine, its spiritual world is very, very deep. It's not just worshipping Radharani, even the smile of Śrī Rādhā has been glorified. Bhajami Radham Aravinda Netram Smarami Radham Madhurasmitasya Vadami Radham, and I speak about that Srimati Radharani. What is her quality? Karuna Bharatram. Srimati Radharani is the ocean of mercy. Radharani is very kind. Krishna has rules and regulations. Krishna is a very demanding god. Krishna's holy name, 10 offenses. His deity worship, 32 offenses. The numbers keep increasing. In the Gita, he says, Sarva Dharman Parityaja, abandon everything and surrender unto me. But Srimati Radharani is very kind. Srila Prabhupada would say, our Gaudiya understanding is we take the flower and place the flower in the hand of Śrī Rādhā and request Radha to kindly hand it over to your Krishna. Prabhupada would say, my dear Radharani, Krishna belongs to you. And I am running behind you crying Krishna, Krishna. And realistically, looking at our sadhana, Krishna doesn't look at us. Our sadhana sometimes is so transcendental, Krishna doesn't look at us. We know our sadhana. But Srimati Radharani is such, Srila Prabhupada would say, when we place the flower in our hand and offer it to Krishna and ask her to offer it to Krishna, then Krishna accepts us. Why? Because this flower has come from Radharani. So we may not be qualified, at least speaking for myself, but because we are offering the flower of our bhakti to Srimati Radharani, Radharani kindly hands it over to Krishna and says, here is a devotee who is a million times more qualified than me, and he is wanting you, and he is crying Krishna, Krishna, please accept him. And on Radharani's recommendation, we are used to recommendations of local management, temple authority, GBC, but here the recommendation is straight from Radharani. It is the highest form of recommendation anyone can get. And Radharani says, my dear Krishna, please accept him. And even though the person is not qualified or least qualified, Krishna accepts, and he has to accept because recommendation is coming from Supreme Court. Higher authorities is giving a recommendation. So we speak about that Srimati Radharani. Vadami Radham Karuna Bharatram. She is an ocean of mercy. And Tathoma Manyasti Gati Nakapi. Raghunath Das Goswami says, I don't know anyone apart from Radharani, and I don't want to know anyone apart from Radharani. I am happy. Radhe Radhe Ratte Ratte Tanso Niklo Pran. In Braj Bhasha they say, the Brajavasi say, the only desire that we have is we keep chanting the name of Srimati Radharani. Radhe Radhe Ratte Ratte. Eternally we keep chanting. And as we are chanting, Tanso Niklo Pran, that from my body my pran leaves while my tongue is chanting the name of Śrī Rādhā. Isn't that our desire also? Do we also have a desire that we keep chanting the name of Śrī Rādhā amidst the devotees? When devotees are chanting Harinam Sankirtan, we are remembering Radha and Krishna. Our tongue is chanting the name of Radharani. And in this atmosphere we live. Isn't that our desire also? Yes. No? Yes? Yes? If that is the desire, can we loudly let Radharani know that yes, my dear Radharani, we want to leave this world with your name on our tongue.
Radhe!
Radhe! Radhe! Srimati Radharani ki jai! So that's our mood. Bhajami Radham Aravinda Netram Smarami Radha Madhurasmitasya Vadami Radham Karuna Bharatram Tatoma Manyasti Gati Nakapi. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur makes the same point. Bhaktivinoda Thakur says, Vrishabhano Pure Janamalo Elo Yavata Viva Hobe. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he says that if I have another birth, Vrishabhanu Pure Janamalo Elo, my dear Lord, please give me birth in Vrishabhanupur. Vrishabhanu is the father of Srimati Radharani. Vrishabhanupur is land of Srimati Radharani, Varsana Dham. primarily here it is Raval. Why? Vrishabhanupure Janama Loila, my dear Lord, if I have another word, Bhaktivinoda Thakur says, give me that birth in Raval or in Barsana. And if I have to get married, Yavata Viva Hobe. And if I have to get married, make sure that I get married and go to a place called as Yavat. So someone can say, why? Why not any other place? Why not Nandagaon? Why not any other place? Why only this place? Bhaktivinoda Thakur makes it very clear. Wherever Radharani is there, I want to be there. If she appears in Raval, I want to be in Raval. If she plays in Barsana, I want to be in Barsana. If she gets married and goes to Yavat, I want to be in Yavat. Krishna, you may be great, but my heart is sold out to Srimati Radharani. Bhaktivinoda Thakur says, wherever our Radharani is there, we want to be there. Vrishabhanu Pune Janama Loilo Yavata Viva Hobe. So it's not a sectarian point that only probably our acharyas like Rupa and Sanatan or Raghunath Das Goswami have made. Even Bhaktivinoda Thakur, who appeared just about 200 years back, even he makes the same point. How about our Srila Prabhupada? We are Rupanuga, we are also Prabhupada-nuga. Right? How about our Srila Prabhupada? What does Prabhupada say? Does Prabhupada say any different? No. Prabhupada says the same point. Krishna tava punya have bhai. Krishna tava punya have bhai. E punya koribe jabe. Radharani sukhi hobe. Dhruva ati boli tumai tai. Krishna tava punya have bhai. Krishna tava punya have bhai. Our Prabhupada says that, my dear brothers and sisters, Krishna tava punya have bhai. Krishna will shower mercy on you, for sure. But terms and conditions apply. E punya karibe jabe. He will shower that mercy only when Radharani sukhi hobe. When Radharani is happy with you. Dhruva adi boli tumai tai. Prabhupada says, I am saying this out of experience. I am saying it certainly. Krishna will shower mercy when Radharani will shower mercy on you. Experience. Sripad Ayendra Prabhu would say, experience burns brighter than imagination. One can imagine different things, but there is a vast difference between imagination and experience. If someone has experienced it, he knows for sure what it actually means. Right? Prabhupada is saying out of experience that, my dear brothers, Krishna tava punya have bhai. Krishna will shower mercy, but e punya koribe jabe Radharani sukhi have. When Radharani is happy, when she is satisfied, Krishna will shower us mercy. Again, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur makes the same point. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur says, Radha bhajane jadi mati nahi gela. Krishna bhajana tava akarana gela. Bhaktivinoda Thakur says, Radha bhajane jadi mati nahi gela. That if you have worshipped Krishna, Krishna bhajana tava akarana gela. If you have started worshipping Krishna, and after worshipping Krishna, if you have not developed this desire to worship Radharani, then Bhaktivinoda Thakur says something very scary. Do you want to hear what he says? Bhaktivinoda Thakur says, if after worshipping Krishna, the desire to worship Radharani has not risen in the heart, then your worship of Krishna is useless. Akarana gela. Radha bhajane jadi mati nahi gela. Krishna bhajana tava akarana gela. It's there on KK songs. He says your worship of Krishna is useless if the desire to worship Radharani doesn't rise in the heart. So what is the point we're trying to make? The point we're trying to make is whether it's Raghunath Das Goswami, whether it's Bhaktivinoda Thakur, whether it's Srila Prabhupada, or it's any of those acharyas, all of them have heavily emphasized the glories of Srimati Radharani. Vrindavan so van nahi, Nandagaon so gaon, Bamshi but so but nahi, Śrī Rādhā naam so naam. In Braj Bhasha they very beautifully, very sweetly say, Braj Bhasha ki ek alag maza hai. Braj Bhasha is very sweet. English language is often considered as a poor man's language. Because there are some things in English that cannot be conveyed. Like for example, if I have to say friend, in English the word is friend. In Sanskrit, it's based on the relationship that you have with that person, based on the intimacy that you have with that person. A different word is there. Mitra, friend. Sakha means that friend with whom you can sit down and eat. Sa khadati iti sakha. Then bandhu, another form of friend which is more close, so close that you almost feel like a family. Like oftentimes we all would have experienced many places that we go, whether it's vacation or anywhere, we connect with ISKCON devotees faster than probably our own relatives who are there in that place. Right? Many times when we go to a place, our relatives may be there, but ISKCON devotees, it feels, "Arey, ghar ke log." We don't feel shy to live in the house of an ISKCON devotee, but we feel very shy to go and live in the house of a relative. Right? ISKCON devotee, "Arey, ghar ke log hai." We are all one family. Right? You and I have not met, but we feel we are all one family. Why? Because ISKCON is that family that connects all of us. So, we find that Srila Prabhupada has built this very wonderful home where whether we know the person or whether we don't know the person, Tilak is there, Kanti is there, apne log hai. We are one family. Right? Whichever place we go, whether it's India, America, whichever place, we may not even connect with their language. Even if we meet someone who is Chinese, for example, but Tilak, Kanti, we feel happy. We almost smile like Jagannath. We become happy, apne log hai. Because we know devotees means we can be ourselves. No one is going to judge us. So it is Srila Prabhupada's kind mercy on all of us that he has given us this most wonderful ISKCON. Srila Prabhupada would say, "I have built a home where the whole world can reside under one roof." And indeed that's a reality. So whether it's Prabhupada or Srila Prabhupada Saraswati Thakur or whether it's Bhaktivinoda Thakur, all of them have been glorifying Srimati Radharani. We see that this name of Srimati Radharani, as we were talking about Braj Bhasha, and we were talking about English language, and we mentioned as to how this English language is oftentimes it's considered like a poor man's language. Why? Because there are some things that cannot be conveyed, like a friend. In Sanskrit you may have Mitra, Sakha, Bandhu. What does Krishna say in Gita? Sarva Bhutanam, something Sarva Bhutanam. Suridam, yes. Suridam Sarva Bhutanam. Fill in the blanks. Suridam Sarva Bhutanam. What does Suridam mean? Again, friend. But it's that friend who doesn't leave you when probably the whole world leaves you. So, all of them mean friend, but all of them have a different meaning. Sanskrit is a very sweet language. Likewise, Braj Bhasha. I remember many years back in Haridwar, my worshipful spiritual master Śrī Rādhā Govinda Maharaj, every year he would take disciples to the banks of Haridwar on the banks of Ganga. And for 7 days, morning 3 hours, evening 3 hours, he would speak Bhagavatam. Because that's the place where it's on the banks of Ganga that Srila Shukadeva Goswami spoke Bhagavatam. So morning 3 hours, evening 3 hours, he would speak on one topic. So if it's Putana, 7 days, 3 hours, 3 hours, 3 hours, just on the topic of Putana. And the next year, if he's again, in some place, if he's again talking Putana, then that katha will be different from this katha that he has spoken. It shows the depth of what the acharyas have given. Things wouldn't repeat. So in one of those Haridwar katha, different devotees had requested, "Maharaj, can you speak in English also?" And he comes from Bihar. So he knows English, but his go-to is Bihar. His language that he's comfortable in. So devotees requested, so he said okay. And flyers and all were published. They were all posters were there. English Katha by Radha Govinda Maharaj. 7 days. A nice crowd came. And there were Westerners also. And Srila Guru Maharaj started speaking. 1 hour he spoke in English. After that he paused. And he said, इंग्लिश में वो मजा नहीं है जो हिंदी में है। हम तो हिंदी में बोलेंगे, जिनको हिंदी नहीं पता आप पीछे बैठिए अनुवाद कीजिए, हम तो हिंदी में बोलेंगे। Next 7 days he spoke Hindi only. All that poster, publication, everything. Gaur Premanand. But he spoke in Hindi. And for those who follow Hindi, there are some things that Hindi conveys more sweeter. Right? English is also great, nothing against English. But for those who follow Hindi, it's very sweet. And Braj Bhasha is more sweeter. Vrindavan so ban nahi, there is no place like Vrindavan. Nandagaon so gaon, there is no gaon like Nandagaon. Vamshi Vat so Vat nahi, there is no tree like Vamshi Vat. And Radha Naam so Naam. And there is no name like Srimati Radharani. Vishakha-nandini Srimati Radharani ki Jai. So our Gaudiya Acharyas have sold out to the lotus feet of Radharani. One time, Sripad Ayendra Prabhu, it was Kumbh Mela in Vrindavan. And Ayendra Prabhu is a very interesting personality. Very out of the box. He is not like the conventional ISKCON devotee that we are talking about. He does things, he speaks things that are very off the box. And someone who's probably new to the movement would have a big identity crisis like, book says this, the person behaves like this. He would have his own style of going about things. So it was Kumbh Mela and Sripad Ayendra Prabhu had been there. And this was, I think, Vrindavan. Not the Mahakumbh, but like the mini Kumbh. And after Ayendra Prabhu did the Kirtan during Kumbh Mela, now it was time for him to take the cycle rickshaw and go back to his ISKCON Vrindavan room where he would live. So he caught hold of a cycle rickshaw and he asked him how much, and the cycle rickshaw person said 60 rupees. And Ayendra Prabhu said, no, it's only 50 rupees. I have been living here for the past 2 decades, it's only 50. Now in India, negotiations happen. He says one, you says one, then finally you midpoint. You both come to a midpoint. What to speak of cycle rickshaw? If you are good at negotiation, you can negotiate even with a cop. If a police catches you, if you are good at negotiation, you can even negotiate with a cop. I remember sometimes in India, I've seen people, like back in those days, of course now things have become probably more strict. You have cameras like in Mumbai and other places. But probably 15-20 years back, when the cop would catch you, he would give you a challan. He would give you like a government thing where he would write so and so car number and I've taken so much money. And the challan cost would be maybe about 100 rupees. Now the person who has been caught, he negotiates with the police and says, look, let's settle. I don't want the challan, but instead of 100 rupees, I'll pay 50 rupees. So that 50 rupees goes to your pocket. You also get money, I also get discounted. Both get benefited. Sound familiar? For those born and brought up in India? Maybe not the American youth, but in India it's madhuram to the ears. It's a common phenomenon. You do it even with a cop. Please don't try it with the American police. If after that something happens, don't say Arjun Sakha Prabhu said in class. Try at your own risk. So, Sripad Ayendra Prabhu, he started negotiating and that person said, no 60 rupees. Ayendra Prabhu said, no 50 rupees. And it went back and forth. And finally one devotee intervened. And that devotee said, Prabhu, I will pay. You get into the cycle rickshaw, I will pay 60. And Ayendra Prabhu got into the cycle rickshaw. And throughout the way, Ayendra Prabhu was talking to this devotee about the importance of saving money. Ayendra Prabhu was saying that this is Prabhupada's money, so you should not spend it unnecessarily. Prabhupada is slogged, every cent matters, every rupee matters, and this is 10 rupees. And that devotee said, yes, Prabhu. And they were going, and they finally reached Krishna Balaram Mandir. Ayendra Prabhu got down. And then Ayendra Prabhu was going to his room, and this devotee was removing his wallet. And as Ayendra Prabhu was going to his room, this cycle rickshaw person, he looked at Ayendra Prabhu and said, Radhe Radhe. And Ayendra Prabhu heard it. He looked behind. And his eyes lit up. And he came back. And he told this devotee, did you listen what he said? The devotee said, yeah, I listened. Because it was Vrindavan, so it's very common. Ayendra Prabhu said, did you listen what he said? He said, Radhe Radhe. Pay him 10 rupees extra. He deserves 10 rupees extra. Pay him 10 more. And this devotee was perplexed. 15 minutes back, Ayendra Prabhu was transparently arguing that money should not be spent. And just by one Radha Naam, he was ready to pay 10 more rupees extra. So our sampradaya is such, we are fans, we are followers, we are servants of Srimati Radharani. Shri Krishna has 64 qualities. How many qualities does Balaramji have? Krishna has 64. We all agree Krishna has 64.
Yeah.
How many does Balaram have? 60.
64.
Okay, let's do a poll. WhatsApp survey. How many does Balaram have? 60. Okay.
64.
64. 4.
64.
64. Okay. And any other number?
63.
63. Okay. Now we are getting into deep science. 63. Anyone for any other number? 58. 50. Okay. Any other final number? Anything that you are getting realization in the heart? Divya Gyan Hriday Prakashito. Any transcendental number?
63.5.
Huh? 65 point?
63.5.
63.5. Realizations are just pouring in our congregation. Killer Rupa Goswami explains, and I had this question when I was small. I remember I would have this question because we often talk about Krishna. How about Balaramji? How many qualities does he have? And I remember when I was small, I heard it in a class of His Holiness Bhakti Rasamrit Maharaj, and he explained as to how Balaram also has 64. Whatever Krishna does, Balaram can also do. What are the extra 4 that Krishna has over Vishnu? What are the extra 4 qualities? Hint. Venu Madhuri. Rupa Madhuri. Then? That is Rupa Madhuri. Leela Madhuri. And finally? Prema Madhuri. Yes, Prema Madhuri. Rupa Madhuri, Venu Madhuri, Leela Madhuri and Prema Madhuri. And Maharaj in that class was explaining Balaram can do everything. Balaram can also play the flute. Rupa Madhuri. Balaram is also very beautiful. If Krishna is like a black cloud, Balaram is like a white spring cloud. Very beautiful. Just like a black rain cloud is beautiful, even a white spring cloud is very beautiful. Of course, we don't find much in Seattle, but it's still beautiful. White spring cloud. And Leela Madhuri, Balaramji's pastimes are also very beautiful. Krishna has rasa dance. Does Balaram have rasa dance?
Yes.
Yes?
Yes.
No. How many say yes?
No.
Okay. How many say no? Okay. And how many say probably whatever you say? Third option. Balaram also has rasa dance. Just like Krishna has a rasa dance, Balaram also. Krishna has his set of gopis, Balaramji also has his set of gopis. So Balaramji also has his rasa dance. And Prema Madhuri, well, Krishna can give Prema, Balaram can also give Prema. Krishna has 64, Balaram also has 64. How about Radharani? Wonderful. Wonderful. What's your name? So, can we applaud? Very good. Well, Srimati Radharani has 25 qualities. Krishna has 64. Balaram has 64. But interestingly, these 25 qualities of Radharani are enough to control Krishna who has 64 qualities. 25 is greater than 64. Spiritual man's. Don't ask me how, but it is. How these qualities are superior, we will see on Saturday. On Saturday, we will speak about the qualities of Śrī Rādhā. And there's one quality of Srimati Radharani that outnumbers the 64 qualities of Krishna. We will see that on Saturday. So Radharani has 25. And our?
Overlap is there? 25?
No overlap.
Okay. That's good.
Some overlap, but not everything.
Not everything.
Srimati Radharani has these 25 qualities. Chaitanya Charitamrita explains, Ladhi nira sara prem, prema sara bhav, bhavera paramakashta nam mahabhav, mahabhava swarupa Shri Radha Thakurani, Sarva Guna Khani Krishna Kanta Shiromani. Some special effects. Ladhinira Sar Prem. Kaviraj Goswami, he says, the essence of Ladhini Shakti. What is Ladhini Shakti? Internal potency. Pleasure giving potency. Yes, Bhakti Shastri. Or Bhakti Vaibhava. Maybe not in Bhakti Shastri. Is it there in Bhakti Shastri? No. Bhakti Vaibhava maybe. But maybe not in Bhakti Vaibhava either. It is there in Bhakti Vedanta, Bhakti Sarvabhauma. Krishna was on the bank of Jamuna, primarily at Imlital. How many have been to Imlital in Vrindavan? 1, 2, 3, 4. Very wonderful place. A very, very sweet place opposite the bank of Jamuna. If you have not been there, I highly urge, next time you go to Vrindavan, please go to the bank of Yamuna, and there's a beautiful temple of Imlital. Very sweet place. Especially the evening aartis of Yamuna at Imlital and other temples that are there. It's very sweet. Like you can go to one temple and witness the aarti, and then you can run your way and go to another temple and witness the aarti, and then you can run your way and go to another temple to witness the aarti. It's very sweet. Just like in Haridwar they have Ganga aarti, likewise in evening they have Yamuna aarti. Likewise in Radhakund also they have the evening Yamuna aarti, Radhakund aarti, with those big ghee lamps. I remember like 2 years back, I did that aarti in Radhakund, and that, believe me or not, that ghee lamp was so heavy. It was almost like I was lifting a dumbbell. Very heavy, with multiple layers, with multiple ghee lamps. And it's a little scary because you're on the bank of Radhakund, it's night time, and there's so many people around. And if by chance the ghee lamp slips from your hand, it's going to be there on Radhakund times. It's going to be there around Radhakund that for the first time in history someone did aarti and the ghee lamp slipped from their hand. So I remember while I was holding, more than offering the ghee lamp to Radhakund, my heart was skipping a beat. I should not slip. This should not slip from my hand. First of all, I should not slip in Radhakund. And this should not slip. Somehow I just did it. So it's an experience. If you are in Radhakund in the evening, it's a very sweet experience. Krishna was there in Imlital or Imlitala. And Krishna was thinking to himself, Amage Anandadive Achhe Konja. Who is that personality who can give me happiness? I go to everyone to give them happiness. If anyone wants happiness, they come to me. Every Sunday feast, people come to me asking, I want this, I want that. When we come to temple, we have a big list. We ask Krishna, Krishna, I want this, I want this, I want this, I want this. Imagine. I sometimes, when I just have free time, I imagine this. Hypothetical imagination, which doesn't make any sense. Imagine, you keep asking Krishna that, my dear Lord, I want this, I want this, I want this. And Krishna has a complete list of whatever you want. And there's one Sunday feast where Krishna is going to do a reveal of what this devotee has asked till now. In so many Sunday feasts, this devotee has come, what all he has asked. It will be an interesting experience. Right? If Krishna is going to show the piece of paper of what all we have asked till now, will we ask Krishna those things? Probably not. Then our desires will be more pure. But nonetheless, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says, Yena kena prakarena, even if they are material desires, just go to Krishna. Let's start from somewhere. Just go to Krishna. Krishna was thinking, people come to me with different desires, but where should I go for happiness? Who is that personality who can give me happiness? Amake Anandadive Achhe Konjan. Who is that personality who can give me happiness? And as Krishna was thinking this way, a beautiful young girl sprang from the heart of Krishna, from the left side of Krishna. And as she sprang from the left side of Krishna, she was very beautiful. And looking at Krishna, she was running towards Krishna to be with Krishna. Impelled by love, which is called Rādha. Love means Rāg. Impelled by love or Rāg, she was running towards Krishna, Dhavati, to be with Krishna. That sweet girl who sprang from the left side of Krishna to give happiness to Krishna, who was impelled by love or Rag and was running towards Krishna, Dhavati, to be with him, is Rag. Ra stands for Rag and Dhavati means to sit down. To run. Yes. Please help. Dhavati means to run. And Ra means Rag. She was impelled by so much love that she was running towards Krishna to be with Krishna. That personality is Radha. So she is the internal pleasure-giving potency or Ladhini Shakti. Ladhinere Sar Prem. The essence of Ladhini Shakti is Prema. Prema Sara Bhav. The essence of that Prema is Bhav or emotions. Bhavera Parma Kashta. When that Bhav reaches the zenith, Nam Mahabhav, it's called Mahabhav. Mahabhava Swarupa Shri. When that Mahabhava is to be given a form, Mahabhava Swarupa Shri, Radha Thakurani. When that Mahabhav attains a form, it is Srimati Radharani. Sarva Guna Khani Krishna, Kanta Shiromani. She is that consort of Krishna who is Sarva Guna Khani, who is filled and expert in all the qualities. 25 qualities. She is expert and she is perfect and she knows how to please Krishna. And as she is desiring to please Krishna with her service, she doesn't want anything from Krishna. And Krishna is not used to this. This reciprocation Krishna is not used to. Krishna is used to the reciprocation where someone comes and asks for something and Krishna gives and there is a give and take. But here, Radharani is giving service but doesn't want anything. Krishna is scratching his head. What can I do? How should I reciprocate? This is out of syllabus for Krishna. He has not experienced this kind of love. So that is our Srimati Radharani. Our Acharya has very beautifully explained that Srimati Radharani in Vrindavan and outside of Vrindavan also has 3 forms. So all this while that we were discussing for the last 45 minutes, this was introduction. Now our class will start. This was just introduction to Radha Tattva as to who Srimati Radharani is. Now our class will start. Don't worry, we will also end on time. IST. Some got it late. In India there is like a joke. When I heard it, I didn't get it and later someone had to explain it to me. In India they say, sarcasm is like electricity. Only half of India gets it. Some got it, some still didn't get it. Sarcasm is like electricity. Only half of India gets it. You have to hear it 2-3 times to even get that sarcasm. So anyway, Srimati Radharani has 3 forms. So the theme of our discussion up until now, what we discussed was the glorification of Śrī Rādhā from the standpoint of different acharyas, the qualities of Śrī Rādhā and the tattva of Śrī Rādhā. Srimati Radharani has 3 forms. So the theme of our discussion is Radha Rupa. What is the discussion? Radharani means Radha and Rupa means form. Srimati Radharani has 3 forms. There are 3 forms of Radharani. And what those 3 forms are, we will see. The first form of Srimati Radharani is called Vishakha-nandini Śrī Rādhā. What is the name? Vishakha-nandini Śrī Rādhā. Yes. This form of Srimati Radharani is that Srimati Radharani who performs her pastimes in Vrindavan, who is always there in Sri Vrindavan Dham. The pastimes that Krishna performs with Radharani in Vrindavan, it is with Vishakha-nandini Śrī Rādhā. I will repeat. The pastimes that Krishna performs with Radharani in Vrindavan, it is with Vishakha-nandini Śrī Rādhā. Sri Arup Goswami explains that this form of Srimati Radharani is very sweet. Radharani normally itself is very sweet. Whichever form, Radharani is very sweet. One time, Srimati Radharani was going to Nandgaon. She is going to Nandgaon to cook for Krishna. When Mother Yashoda heard that Durvasa Muni has given this boon to Radharani, that anyone who eats from the hand of Radharani will have a long life. Mother Yashoda, she asked Srimati Radharani if she could cook for Krishna, and Radharani accepted. So she would walk her way from Barsana all the way up to Nandagaon to cook for Krishna. And this was also the time that Krishna would be there with his friends, grazing cows. This place in Vrindavan is called Ter Kadam. In Braj Bhasha, Ter means to call out. It is that place where Krishna calls out to his cows and calves. These cows and calves, they go to herding for different places, and Krishna calls them personally with their name. And these cows start coming. So Ter means to call out, and because there is a Kadamba tree, it's called Ter Kadamba. So Krishna goes there for herding. And as Radharani walks her way to Nandagaon, she has to pass through this place. She has to pass through this place of Ter Kadamba. So one time Srimati Radharani was walking with her Sakhis, Lalita, Vishakha and so many others. Krishna was there. And Krishna called out to Srimati Radharani, "Oh Radhe! Look, I want to show you something very interesting." Radharani said, "What is it?" Now look at Krishna. Krishna says, "My dear Radhe, this calf that's there near me, this calf is very interesting." Radharani said, "Acha, why?" Krishna said, "This calf is interesting because in the udder of this calf, there is a lotus design." Radharani said, "What?" Krishna, it doesn't make any sense. Krishna says, "Really? You don't believe me? Come and check. This calf is so interesting. In the udder there is a lotus design." Lalita Sakhi says, "Oh Radhe, don't trust him. He has a track record of lying. Don't trust him." Radharani says, "No, let me just check." Now Radharani also wants to be with Krishna. She knows Krishna will trick. She still wants to be with Krishna. Radharani says, "Let me just check. Whoa, maybe, you never know, maybe there's a lotus design." Lalita Sakhi says, "I know Krishna. Trust me. There is no lotus design." Radharani says, "Let me just check." Lalita Sakhi says, "At your own risk. Do it." Radharani walks her way. And Rupa Manjari, who is Rupa Goswami, accompanies Radharani because Rupa Manjari or Rupa Goswami knows that Krishna will have something. He will have a prank. Maybe if the children get settled down. So, Rupa Manjari also goes. And Radharani says, "Acha, where is your lotus-shaped udder design?" Krishna says, "For that you have to first sit down. Only if you sit down can you see the udder." Lalita Sakhi from behind says, "No! Don't do it." Radharani says, "Ek baar, let's just try, maybe just one time." And Radharani sits down and Krishna also sits. And as Radharani sits to see whether there's a lotus-shaped design in the udder, Krishna holds the udder of the calf and starts spraying on Srimati Radharani. Milk Abhishek. It's not Radhashtami, by the way. Unplanned Abhishek. And Radharani is completely bathed. And Lalita Sakhi says, "I told you! He will do this! I told you!" And poor Radharani is bathed with milk. But she still likes it. Whatever Krishna does, Radharani loves. She's bathed. And Rupa Manjari is present there, takes her pallu and offers it to Radharani to dry her off. And then Radharani walks from there. And the next day, Radharani is again walking the same route. And again she is going to Nanjagaon through Ter Kadam, and again Krishna is there. And now in Ter Kadam, there is, it's like it's like a T. So you reach an intersection where you can go left and you can also go right. Krishna is standing towards the right. Nandagaon is towards the left. They reach the junction. Lalita Sakhi says, "Left. No going right. Don't even see right. Left." Old habits. Radharani has an old habit of seeing towards Krishna. She's drawn helplessly towards Krishna. Lalita Sakhi says, "No. Let's go towards the left." Now Radharani, the previous day she has been baked with milk, but still she wants to be with Krishna. Unimaginable. The only thing we can do is we can smile. This tattva is beyond understanding. She wants to be with Krishna, and Lalita Sakhi has a beautiful necklace that Kirtida Maya has gifted her. So Radharani is wearing that necklace, and now as they reach the junction and they are about to go left, Radharani's heart is calling out to Krishna. She wants to be with Krishna, but Krishna is there, and Krishna is also saying, now Srimati Radharani is not looking at me, what should I do? I cannot use the same excuse of Adar. It will not again work. Lalita Sakhi is there, and Lalita Sakhi is pretty strong. So Radharani, when she understands that she has to do something to be with Krishna, Radharani, the necklace that she has, she breaks that necklace. And as she breaks the necklace, the pearls are all there on the ground. And each and every Sakhi is now, they start picking up the pearls, and everyone's thinking, wait a minute, how is it that this necklace fell to the ground all of a sudden? How is it that it broke all of a sudden? It has never happened before. And all these gopis are picking one after another. And as they are picking, Krishna sees from a distance. And Krishna runs. Our hero runs there. Because he wants an opportunity to be with Radharani. Krishna runs. And Krishna picks up a pearl and gives it to Radharani. Is this yours? And Radharani says, yeah, I think so. I think so. And Lalita Sakhi said, what is happening? I thought you guys are not going to meet today. This is transcendental romance. In this world, we find people get enamored by movies. But in the land of Vrindavan, we find these pastimes of Radha and Krishna give spiritual happiness. And they are devoid of any lust. And Krishna picks up a pearl, and that one pearl that Krishna has picked up gives so much happiness to Radharani. And now again on day 2, Radha and Krishna have met. Day 3. Again they are walking the same route. And again they reach the intersection. And again they have to take a left. And now Radharani realizes, I have nothing to do. Krishna realizes, I can't give the excuse of the calf. Radharani doesn't have the necklace. What should I do? So as Srimati Radharani has taken the left, and now she is walking towards Nandagaon, Krishna, he unties the calf. The calf that's tied, Krishna unties. And this calf, you see calf, when they're untied, they just jump around here and there. This calf starts running. And this calf runs all the way towards Radharani. Krishna's calf, right? If Krishna goes to Radharani, calf is also not different. Servant follows the master. The calf goes to Srimati Radharani and starts licking the lotus feet of Śrī Rādhā. And Krishna comes as if unaware of anything. Krishna again runs there and says, I don't know how this calf got untied. It has never happened before. My dear Srimati Radharani, please forgive me. This calf is very mischievous. Lalita Sakhi looks at Krishna and says, is calf mischievous or are you mischievous? The calf cannot be untied all by itself. You have done it. And all 3 days and all the days this way, Radha and Krishna somehow they end up meeting. Our acharyas explain, why did Srimati Radharani break the necklace? Yes, externally it's to meet Krishna. It's to get the attention of Krishna. But our acharyas very beautifully explain, till the time we are not ready to let go of the bindings, the necklace-like bindings that have bound us to this world, till the time we are not ready to break the bindings of this world, till that time Krishna will not run towards us. Till the time we are not ready to break the bindings of this world, Shyama Sundar Shri Krishna will not run. Because he demands surrender. Sarva Dharman. So Radharani, in the mood of a devotee, is showing that for those who can break the bindings of this world, Shyama Sundar Shri Krishna will run. So that form of Srimati Radharani is Vishakha-nandini Śrī Rādhā, who performs pastimes with Krishna in the land of Vrindavan. What's the name? Vishakha-nandini Śrī Rādhā. Then we go to the second form of Srimati Radharani. this form of Srimati Radharani is called as Viyogini Śrī Rādhā. What is the name? Viyogini Śrī Rādhā. Wonderful. Viyog means separation. Like in Hindi they say Viyog mein rehna. In separation. One time in Krishna Mandir in Vrindavan, 1975, during Prabhupada's time, one person had come to our Krishna Mandir and he was rolling on the ground and crying Radhe, Radhe, Radhe. So the disciples were perplexed because they had not seen anything like this before. So they went to Prabhupada and said, Prabhupada, seems like a pure devotee has come to our ISKCON. He is rolling on the ground and crying Radhe, Radhe, what should we do? Prabhupada said, take a stick and whip him. They said, what? Prabhupada said, yes, take a stick and whip him. The disciples were confused. Why? He is pure. It seems like he's pure devotee. He's crying Radhe Radhe. Why should we whip him? Prabhupada said, take a stick and after whipping him, if he doesn't say anything, then he is pure devotee. But if he retaliates and starts shouting and arguing, then he is dhongi. Then he is not a proper sadhu. So disciples said, okay. They took a stick and with full energy. And some Prabhupada disciples were very strong, like Brahmananda Prabhu. Huge. So he came with a stick. It was almost like, Bhima coming with a stick. He came with a stick in his hand. And looking at the stick, this person ran from the temple. They told Prabhupada, like you said, he left the temple and he ran away. Prabhupada said, dhongi, cheater. He is rolling on the ground only for attention. And the disciples were thinking, Prabhupada, but why did you say that if we hit him, he will not retaliate? Why? Prabhupada said, look at Haridas Thakur. What was his fault? Nothing. But when he was whipped, he didn't say anything. He prayed for them. Prabhupada said, this is the hallmark, this is the standard of a sadhu. Doesn't mean the disciple would have hit, but it was just a reality check. And that person ran away. So the second form of Srimati Radharani is Viyogini Śrī Rādhā. Viyog means separation. That form of Srimati Radharani who is in separation. When Krishna left the land of Sri Vrindavan Dham, Krishna, he sent Uddhava to Vrindavan. Gaccha Uddhava Braja Saumya Pitruna Priti Mavaha Gopina Mad Viyogadim Mad Sandeshar Vimochaya. Krishna sends Uddhava and tells, my dear Uddhava, please go to Vrindavan and pacify the gopis who are in Viyoga. Gopinam Mad Viyogadim. Those who are in my separation, Mad Viyog, you go and pacify them. Whatever instruction I will give you, you pass on that same. As it is. Uddhav, don't add your own thing. Whatever I say. Bhagavad Gita as it is. Yatharut. Give it as it is. And then we find Krishna, he calls Uddhava as Gaccha Uddhava Vraja Saumya. Saumya means moon. Soma. Soma means moon. Somnath. Soma means moon. Gaccha Uddhava Vraja Saumya. My dear Uddhava, oh moon-like personality, please go to Vrindavan. Question arises, why? Why would you call someone as the moon? Like in colloquial language, when we talk, I would not address you as the moon, and nor would you address me as the moon. Right? It's not a colloquial way of saying it. But Krishna, he says, oh my dear moon-like Uddhav, please go to Vrindavan. And Srila Guru Maharaj was quoting Sripad Harisuri. And Sripad Harisuri gives a very sweet commentary. Sripad Harisuri says, why is Krishna calling Uddhava as the moon? Because the moon has a characteristic. It has two characteristics. First, the moon reduces the external heat. Right? When the moon rises, the external heat from the morning sun that is there, the moon cools it down. And second, the moon gives taste to the crops that reduce the internal heat of hunger. Two principles. External heat it reduces, internal heat also it reduces. Krishna calls Uddhava as the moon because, my dear Uddhava, I want you to go to Vrindavan and give a message, because by your presence you will reduce the external heat of separation that the gopis are having from me. Why? Because Uddhava resembled Krishna very much. He looked very much like Krishna. So Krishna says, if you go there, they will feel as if Krishna has come, and the external heat of separation will go down. And the instruction that I give you, you repeat as it is. And that will be like tasty crops, adding juice to their life because of the internal heat of separation that they are facing. My words will reduce their internal heat, and your presence will reduce the external heat. Gacha Uddhava Vraja Saumya. Oh moon, please go to Vrindavan. How sweet, right? How in between the words, Shukadeva Goswami says it, but our acharyas have very beautifully commented on that. And Krishna has a long-standing connection with the moon. Krishna has a long-standing connection. One time Krishna went to Srimati Radharani and said, "My dear Radharani, you look so beautiful today. You are as beautiful as the moon. You are as beautiful as Chandra." When Radharani heard it, she said, "Acha? So now looking at me, you remember Chandravali? All this while in my absence you are going there. Now in my presence also you are taking her name. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Krishna. ये दिन भी देखने को आ गया. I look like Chandra, Krishna said, "No, I mean, that's not what I meant. You just look like the moon, not Chandravali. Like, why are we going so much in depth?" Radharani said, "Acha, like the moon has spots. So you mean to say there are spots in my character?" Krishna said, "That Lord who speaks the Bhagavad Gita is finding it difficult to argue in front of Radharani." So Krishna has some connection with the moon. And finally Krishna said, "Whatever you feel is appropriate, you take that as the glorification. I rest my case. I don't have anything more to say." So that is Viyogini Śrī Rādhā. That form of Radharani who was in separation from Krishna after Krishna left Vrindavan. Srimati Radharani prioritized Vrindavan over even Vaikuntha. She prioritized Vrindavan over Mathura and Dwarka. She could have gone to Mathura and Dwarka. She didn't go. She prioritized Vrindavan even over Krishna. Srila Vishwanath Thakur says, this is the mood of the Gaudias. Na yoga siddhir na mamastu moksho Vaikuntha lokavaipi na parshvadattam premapi nasyaditi chetaranto Mamastu Vrindavana eva vasam. Vrindavana Ashtakam, verse 1. Verse memorization. Another asterisk we can put. These Ashtakams can be chanted in this month. Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says, Na yoga siddhi, my dear Lord, I don't want yoga siddhi. Na mamastu moksho, my dear Lord, I don't even want moksha. I don't want liberation. Vaikuntha loke pina parshvadattam. I don't want moksha. I don't want to go to Vaikuntha. I don't even want to become your parshad, your associate in Vaikuntha. Yeah, big statement. We wanted to go to Vaikuntha. Right? We wanted to go there. We wanted to be with the Lord. Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur is saying, my dear Lord, I don't want it. Premapi nasyad iti chetarantu. My dear Lord, I don't even want that prema. What do you want? I thought bhakti means you want all this. Bhakti means you want Krishna, you want Vaikuntha. Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur is saying, I don't want any of those things. If by getting all of these things, my dear Lord, if I have to stay outside of Vrindavan Dham, nahi chahiye hame. I don't want to go outside of Vrindavan. My dear Lord, you be happy with all this. You keep your moksha with yourself. But Braj chhodkar hame nahi jana kidhar. I don't want to go outside Vrindavan, my dear Lord. I don't want Vaikuntha. I don't want Ashtasiddhi, Anima, Mahima, Lakhima. I don't want it, my dear Lord. You keep it. I just want to be happy in Vrindavan. If with Vrindavan I get all these things, then I take it. But if you're going to kick me outside of Vrindavan Dham, my dear Lord, I don't want it. You keep it. In Vrindavan, the Brajbhasha, they very beautifully they say, Braj tyaj ke main kahin nahi jaun. Braj tyaj ke main kahin nahi jaun. Rasik santana प्रीति हटाई, राधा नाम परम सुखदाई. Radha Naam Parama Sukhadhai. This name of Radharani gives eternal happiness. Braj Tyaji ke main kahin nahi jaun. Leaving Vrindavan, I don't want to go anywhere. Rasika Santana ke darshana paun. In Vrindavan, I want to associate with the Rasik sadhus who are there. By associating with them in the land of Vrindavan, what will happen? Jag se preeti hatai. My attachment to this world will go away. Radha Naam Parama Sukhadhai. I will be happy in Vrindavan chanting Radhe Radhe Shrimati Radharani ki Jai. And Radharani did this. She prioritized Vrindavan over Krishna. Vrindavan to Mathura, how much is it? 30 minutes?
13 kilometers.
Huh?
13 kilometers.
13 kilometers. How many miles?
8 miles.
8 miles. How much is 8 miles? Is it that difficult for Radharani to travel 8 miles? There may have not been Tesla cars. But still 8 miles was not very difficult. But she didn't go. She was happy in Vrindavan. This is our Gaudiya mood. Vrindavan is the heart of the Gaudiyas. It's the land of heart's desire. Śrī Rādhā. And it's a never-ending discussion about Śrī Rādhā. So Radharani prioritized staying in Vrindavan. Uddhava, when he came back, he looked at Krishna and said, "My dear Krishna, you may be very strong, but I challenge you. I challenge you to dress like Uddhava and go to Mathura and go to Vrindavan and see the things that I have seen and then have the courage to come back." Krishna, I challenge you, you cannot do it. You may be very powerful, but you don't have the Shakti. Why? Uddhava says, when I went to Vrindavan, Srimati Radharani took Uddhava to different places wherever Krishna performed pastimes. Different places Radharani would say, this is where Krishna did this is where Krishna did that, this is where he would steal butter, this is where he killed Shakatasur, this is where he sucked the life air of Putana, this is where he did Trinavarta pastime, etc. And at one point, Uddhava is brought to the place where Krishna swallowed forest fire. And as Uddhava saw this place of Krishna swallowing the forest fire, the gopis were saying, when Krishna came here, he swallowed the forest fire. That time he had asked his friends to close their eyes. Krishna had asked his friends to close the eyes, and when the friends closed their eyes, then Krishna swallowed the forest fire. And as the gopis were saying this, Radharani closed her eyes, hoping that Shyamasundar Shri Krishna will swallow the forest fire of her separation. Uddhava saw this. This was too much for Uddhava to take. He had not seen this kind of love. He came back to Krishna and said, "My dear Lord, I want to go back to Vrindavan." Krishna said, "Why? I thought you were happy with me. What happened?" In 11 months, Uddhava flipped. He was in Krishna's side earlier. With 11 months of sadhu sangha, he became on the side of Radharani. Krishna said, "What happened?" And Krishna knew this, and that's why he sent Uddhava to Vrindavan. Uddhava looks at Krishna and says, "My dear Lord, I have only one request, one desire. If you could fulfill." Krishna said, "Yes, what is your desire?" Uddhava, after having seen Viyogini Śrī Rādhā, Uddhava says, "Asamaho charana renu dushama hamsyam vrindavane kimapi gulmarat aushadinam yadyuschara swajana marja patam hitva bhejur mukunda padavim shrudivim vimargya." Uddhava says, "My dear Lord, if you have been happy with my association, even for an iota, please give me this benediction that I can become a blade of grass in Vrindavan, only so that Radharani will walk and trample me and I will be imbued with some prema." Who is saying? Uddhava. The only human disciple of Brahaspati is Uddhava. Brahaspati has only demigod disciples. That is his standard. The school of Brahaspati, only demigods come. Uddhava is the only human disciple. For everyone else, my Guru Maharaj was explaining, The way Brahaspati would teach is he would teach one demigod. For example, Indra. Indra would teach another 5 demigods. Those 5 demigods would teach another 10 demigods. Those 10 would teach another 20 demigods. Brahaspati would teach only one. But for Uddhava, Sakshat Brahaspati Shishyo, for Uddhava, Brahaspati personally sat down and taught him. He didn't do it with anyone, not even with the demigods. That's how glorious Uddhava is. But that Uddhava, after being the only disciple of Brahaspati, the guru of the demigods, he wants to become a blade of grass in Vrindavan. How glorious. Just seeing this form of Srimati Radharani. Yogini, Śrī Rādhā. And finally, we come to the third aspect of Srimati Radharani. That is Samyogini Śrī Rādhā. Samyogini Śrī Rādhā. What was the first one? Vishakha-nandini Śrī Rādhā. What was the second? Yogini Śrī Rādhā. And what is the third? Samyogini Śrī Rādhā. All these things that we are discussing are given by Srila Prabhupada in his different works and different commentaries. Prabhupada, in a subtle way, he writes all these things. But sometimes people say, oh, Prabhupada gave only basic. No. Prabhupada gave a lot of things. All the depth, everything that we are talking is by what Srila Prabhupada has given. One disciple came to Prabhupada and said, Prabhupada, I have one desire. Prabhupada said, yes. This disciple said, Prabhupada, my desire is lifetime after lifetime I keep distributing your books. Prabhupada said, I am writing books so that you don't take another life. Not that you stay here and keep distributing. But then Prabhupada said, the desire is good, that you want to please your Gurudev. But the aim of the books is desire is once we go back to Krishna, we don't want to come back to it. So the third form of Radharani is Samyogini Radha. This is that form of Srimati Radharani who met Krishna in Kurukshetra after 100 years. So we're talking about 3 Radharanis here. One form of Radharani who was there in Vrindavan performing pastimes with Krishna. Second form of Srimati Radharani is who was in separation when Krishna was there in Mathura and Dwaraka. And third form of Radharani is she who goes all the way to meet Krishna in Kurukshetra. Vrindavana Govardhana Yamuna Plinavan Sesa Varasadika Lila Se Brajera Brajajan Matapita Bandhugan Bada Chitra Kemane Pasorila. Chaitanya Charitamrita explains Radharani looked at Krishna in Kurukshetra and said, you are not the same Krishna. Krishna said, what do you mean? I am the same Krishna. Look, in Tambar Vesh, the same bluish black. Radharani said, no, you are not the same Krishna. Krishna said, why would you say that? Vrindavan. Krishna, you forgot Vrindavan? That Vrindavan where we spent so much time, you forgot that? ठीक है, you forgot Vrindavan, maaf kiya. Govardhan? You forgot Govardhan also? Krishna, how could you forget Govardhan? You spent so much time in Govardhan. We had the rasa dance in Govardhan. You would play with your friends in Govardhan. Govardhan nourished us so much. You forgot Govardhan also? ठीक है. You forgot Govardhan, maaf kiya. Vrindavan, Govardhan, Yamuna, Pulinavan. You forgot Yamuna ji. So many pastimes were performed on the bank of Yamuna. Krishna, how could you forget? Krishna, how did you become so ungrateful that you forgot everyone? You forgot Vrindavan, you forgot Govardhan, you forgot Yamuna. Rasa Sthalis, the place where Rasa dance would be performed. Nidhivan, Seva Kunj, and so many others, you forgot that also. ठीक है. Krishna, giving you benefit of doubt. You forgot all of that. Say Brajera Brajajan, you forgot Brajavasis. You forgot pastime places I can still digest. You forgot Brajavasis, that Brajavasis who gave their life for you. You left them. You promised to them that you will come back. You never came back. Where did you learn to become so ungrateful, Krishna? Who taught you to become ungrateful like this? Say Brajera Brajajan, you forgot Brajavasis, you forgot your friends, Krishna. I understand. Mata Pita Bandhugan, how did you forget Nanda and Yashoda? They gave you so much. How did you forget Nanda and Yashoda? When Uddhava came to Vrindavan, Uddhava didn't know who Nanda and Yashoda are because he had not seen them. Right? And those were not the days of social media, so he didn't know how they looked. So he was asking different people. When he entered Vrindavan, literally on the outskirts, he was asking, where is the house of Nanda and Yashoda? And one friend of Krishna, he said, do you see this stream of water? And Uddhava said, yes. Just keep following that stream of water. You will reach the house of Nanda and Yashoda. Uddhava said, what do you mean? Is this some pond? Some nice lake? Do they have some nice sea-facing house? His friend said, you just follow. You will understand what I'm talking about. And Uddhava started following. He got down from the chariot and he started walking his way, following that stream of water. And that stream of water was the tears of Yashoda, who had cried so much that it had reached the outskirts of Vrindavan, waiting when Krishna will come back. Krishna promised he will come back. Krishna, where did you learn to become so ungrateful? Your Maya who did so much for you. You left her, why? What wrong did she do? Yes, she scolded you, but Krishna, she is your mother. Why did you leave her? Say, Brajera Prajajan Mata Pita, you forgot Nanda Baba. Why? He released you from the Damodar Bandhan pastime. Maya tied you, but it is Baba who released you. Nanda Maharaj every day in the morning would have Krishna on one side of the shoulder, Balram on another side of the shoulder, and he would take both of them for a bath. He would bathe both of them, he would dress both of them, he would play in the water with both of them. Morning time was with the father. Krishna, you forgot Nanda Baba, why? They were waiting for you for such a long time, you never came back. What a chitra came on a Pasarila Krishna. It is astonishing that you became so ungrateful after leaving Vrindavan. You are not touching Krishna. And Krishna has no words. There is no justification that Krishna can give. He may speak the Bhagavad Gita to Arjuna. But with Srimati Radharani, Krishna is lost. There is nothing he can say. Krishna falls at the feet of Radharani and says, my dear Śrī Rādhā, please forgive me. Smaragaraga khandana mama shirasi mandanam dehi pada pallavam udharam Radhe dehi pada pallavam udharam. Jayadev Goswami in Gita Govinda explains Krishna offers his head at the feet of Radharani and says, my dear Radharani, there is nothing I can offer you except my head. Please accept it. Kamsari rapi samsara vasana bandha shrinkhala Radha adhaya hridaya tathajya prajasundari. That Krishna who binds everyone with his prema, that everyone is seeking for Krishna's prema, Krishna prema. That Krishna has been bound by Srimati Radharani, by her love. Jayadev Goswami says, all glories to that Srimati Radharani, who could go all the way even to Kurukshetra and give Krishna a reality check that you have changed. Krishna, you are not the same Krishna. That is Samyogini Śrī Rādhā. Finally, to end our discussion, dear devotees, Krishna tells Narada Muni, very beautiful, please kindly repeat. Satyam Satyam Punah Satyam
Satyam Punah Satyam
Satyam Eva Punah Punah
Satyam Eva Punah Punah
Vina Radha Prasadena
Vina Radha Prasadena
Mat Prasadho na labhyate.
Mat Prasadho na labhyate.
Some would have already got the meaning. Satyam Satyam Punah Satyam. It is truth. It is truth. Again I am saying it is the truth. Satyam Eva Punah Punah. Again I am saying it is the truth. 4 times. Why would anyone say it so many times? The first 2 lines are just Satyam Satyam. Vina Radha Prasadena. Without Radharani being pleased, Mat Prasadona Labhyate. Krishna says no one can conquer me. Till the time Radharani is not satisfied, Krishna says I am a far-fetched reality. Satyam Satyam Punah Satyam Satyam Eva Punah Punah Vina Radha Prasadena Mat Prasadona Labhyate. So Srimati Radharani is the most dear to the Gaudiyas. Very dear to the heart of the Gaudiyas. Why? Because she is completely taken shelter of Sri Krishna, and likewise Krishna has completely taken shelter of Srimati Radharani. Radharani is sold out to Krishna, and Krishna is sold out to Srimati Radharani. I'm going to end our discussion. One time Prabhupada was there in the morning walk. The Prabhupada pastimes are very sweet. In Ayurveda there is a saying, Madhurena samapayet. You end with the sweet. So even our discussion, we should end with the sweet. Prabhupada was there in the morning walk. And this was in Laguna Beach. Prabhupada was walking. And they were by the ocean shore. So there was a crab. And Prabhupada was there with Brahmananda Prabhu. Prabhupada was there with Brahmananda Prabhu. And Prabhupada told Brahmananda, go and catch that crab. This was a new instruction that Brahmananda received. Prabhu received. Like, oftentimes instructions were, go for preaching, distribute books, translate books or whatever, help me in editing, etc. Prabhupada said, Brahmananda, go and catch the crab. Brahmananda Prabhu said, okay. And Brahmananda Prabhu was huge, for those who have seen him. So he went and he jumped to catch the crab, but the crab went inside the ocean. It crawled its way and went inside the ocean. And Prabhupada saw this and started laughing. Prabhupada started laughing. And Brahmananda Prabhu looked. And Prabhupada said, Brahmananda is so huge, crab is so small, still Brahmananda failed. And Brahmananda Prabhu came back. And Prabhupada said, Maya is like this, huge. We are like the crab, very insignificant. But if like the crab we can take shelters of the blue waters of Krishna, then even big Maya cannot do anything. If we learn the art of taking shelter of Krishna, Maya will be huge, humongous. But if we can learn the art of taking shelter of Krishna, then Maya will not touch. And Radharani has perfected this. She has always taken shelter of Krishna. She is Krishna-mayi. Who is she? Krishna-mayi. She was always thinking about Krishna, was always absorbed in the thoughts of Krishna. In this way, our Acharyas explain there are three forms of Srimati Radharani. And finally, in the last 1 minute. Yes, last 1 minute. Oh, we have 3 minutes? Okay. We have always heard Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is coming down to taste the mood of Radharani. We have always heard this. So if Mahaprabhu is coming down to taste the mood of Radharani, and Radharani has 3 forms, shouldn't Chaitanya Mahaprabhu taste all 3 forms so that his purpose for descent is complete? If he tastes only one form of Radharani, then Mahaprabhu is not completely done. He has to taste all 3 forms of Radha, which is Vishakha-nandini Śrī Rādhā, Viyogini Śrī Rādhā, and Samyogini Śrī Rādhā. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu tastes all 3 of them. The first, when Mahaprabhu accepts Diksha from Srila Ishwara Puripada. Kiba mantra dila gosai ki batara bal japite japita mantra karela pagal. Kaviraj Goswami says, after getting Mahamantra, he goes back to his Gurudev and says, what kind of mantra is this? Japite japita mantra karela pagal. I am becoming mad. We also chant the same mantra. But seldom we become mad with the holy name. We become mad with other things, but maybe not with the holy name. Mahaprabhu became intoxicated with the holy name. So that form of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu after his Harinam Diksha but before sannyas is called Bhavuk Nimai. What's the name? And this Bhavuk Nimai had the same mood of Vishakha-nandini Śrī Rādhā. After accepting Diksha, the same moods of Vishakha-nandini Śrī Rādhā were manifesting in the heart of Bhavuk Nimai, and that's why he was going mad, because he was not used to this. Second, when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was in Gambhira in Jagannath Puri, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu would cry. In the morning he would hear Bhagavata from Gadadhar Pandit, and at night time he would cry in separation from Krishna. This corresponds to Viyogini Śrī Rādhā. And third, Mahaprabhu in Jagannath Rath Yatra pastime. Mahaprabhu was like Radharani, Jagannath is like Krishna, and Jagannath Puri became like Kurukshetra, the battlefield of Kurukshetra. So in this way, just like Radharani has 3 forms, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also demonstrated 3 forms in a short span of 48 years to illustrate as to how he came down to taste the mood of Radha, and he actually was successful in tasting the moods of Śrī Rādhā. Having said this, I very humbly want to stop here. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Gaura Premanande. We are on time, 9 o'clock.
Where will you take any question? Is anyone?
Well, I can. I don't know if time permits.
Anyone have question? One question. One question.
If it's only one question, we can take it offline.
It's okay.
Considering that it's already 9,
Okay.
tomorrow is a working day, we can just take it offline.
Sure.
Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.